Hi there. Welcome. So today we're going to be working with our legs a lot. And so, as always, find your version of this, your version of wellness. It doesn't have to look like anything on the outside. It's what it feels like on the inside. I was thinking about it this morning that it's been such an epic journey into, like I'm on live TV as such, and that sense of what you see is the external part of the poses, whereas actually what we're cultivating is the internal feeling of these poses. So I really don't care what we look like. It's about how we feel in wellness as we move. Um, 12 days until solstice, amazing. And yeah, there's somebody from South Africa now joining us daily. Amazing. So come, let's move. Come into your child's pose. As you sit your bum back, as you stretch your arms forward, just feel that. Just settling in, getting a sense of your belly, of your elbows on the floor, or your feet on the floor. Just notice the quality of this moment. Usually, people, when they text me, they talk about how groany and achy this pose is when they first come into it. Nice. And then coming all the way up into your cat pose and rounding your back and look towards your navel and just feel your spine. All the groany, awesome sensations of moving and connecting, clearing up and clearing out the range of motion. And just feeling that arching and rounding. Nice. So stretch your right leg long and lift it a little bit off the floor or leave your toe on the floor. And then just extend and look forward. So we're going to do the cat pose while moving our leg. And then bend your right knee and bring your right toes to the floor. And then sit your bum back and round over your leg. And stretch your right leg long, arching your back. And then bring your toes to the floor and round over your leg. Stretch your leg back, arching. Bring your toes to the floor, round over your leg. Nice change. Left leg stretches back, arching your back. Leave your toe on the floor if you want to. Bend your knee, toes to the floor. Sit your bum back. Lengthening, stretching out. Bend your knee, toes to the floor. Sit your bum back. Nice. And again, one more time. Stretch your leg long, arching. Bring your toes to the floor. Sit your bum back, rounding over your leg. Nice. And both knees to the floor. Draw your right knee up towards your right elbow. And then stretch your right leg long and swing it over towards the left and look over your shoulder. And you're going to feel this stretch through the right side of your body. Bend your right knee, draw it up towards your elbow. And then stretch your leg long and look over your shoulder. One more time. Bend your knee, pull it up, stretch it over, and just pause there looking over your shoulder. You should see the right foot perhaps. Nice. Knee to the floor. Other side. Left knee up towards your left elbow. Stretch your leg long. Swing it around the corner. Left knee, left elbow. And swing it back around the corner. All the time you're feeling into your body. You're really just enjoying the fact that you're moving. Stretch your left leg long. Look over your right shoulder. And feel the length of that connectivity from your left shoulder down into your waist and down into your leg. Like, I just think, like, if I could draw these movements, they'd be like these swooshes and sweeps and connections. It's just so beautiful. And it's the feeling on the inside we're cultivating. Sit your bum back towards your heels, bring your elbows to your knees. No, elbows to the floor. And then just roll out into your wrists. And just release into your elbows, release into your wrists as you making fists and roll like you're kneading bread. And then roll in the other direction. And open your fingers wide, make fists. Open your fingers wide and make fists. Nice. So we're going to do the same thing, but up in a downward dog. So if you don't want to do that, then do it in the same pose again, where you can either have your elbows on the floor as you move, you can have your hands on the floor as you move, or you can stretch yourself back into your downward dog. So finding your downward dog, or at any stage, drop your knees to the floor. Okay. Just feel that. Just find the depth of you, the feeling of you this morning or this evening, whenever you're doing this. Nice. And then lift your right foot off the floor and lengthen it up and back behind you. And then, without changing the shape of your downward dog, just draw your right knee towards your belly and tuck your chin under to draw your forehead towards your knee. Stretch your right leg up and back behind you. Bend your knee, forehead to your knee. One more time. Stretch your leg up and back behind you. Forehead to your knee. Nice change. Left leg up and back behind you. Forehead to your knee. Don't rock your weight forward in your downward dog. Lengthen up and back behind you. Forehead to your knee. One more time. Stretching up and back behind you. Forehead to your knee. Nice. Bring both feet to the floor. Walk your hands back and bend your knees enough that your hands are resting on the floor. And then make two fists out of your hands. And imagine that you're doing some kind of a job, and then you pull your right elbow back like lawnmower, and then you bring it down. And then pull your left elbow back like lawnmower. And just kind of get into kind of like wood chop, wood saw, pounding the mace, whatever it is. I was talking last night in Zoom. We were doing that floor movement, scrubbing the floor movement we were doing last night, yesterday morning. And it was one more time, both hands then, pull both elbows back. And there's some movements in our bodies, like that one when we're cleaning the floor or now, and they're kind of ancient in us. You know, this is how we created, the whole of everything that we do. It's being able to be dexterous and able. Bring your elbows to your knees, just pause there. And then hands to your knees. And then come all the way up to stand. Bring your hands to your hips, just roll out into your hips. Big circles. And then roll in the other direction. Nice. I forget that some of you are new, so I'm just going to explain. This thing here behind me is our heating system in the house. So there's a fire, there's a computer in this thing, and the fire comes on here, it self-ignites, it lights itself, it sucks the pellets in and all that kind of stuff, it self-ignites, and then the chimney goes this way. So where the dog is lying is actually the warmest place in the house. So this is like a heated seat, which is really quite amazing. So back to the focus. So feet are on the floor, standing up tall, and then reach your arms wide. Bring your palms together, looking up. Bending your elbows, bending your knees all the way down. Hands to the floor, forehead to your knees. Hands to your shins, lift and look forward. Hands to the floor, stretch your right leg long. And step back into your plank. Knees to the floor, belly to the floor. Nice. Bring your elbows underneath your shoulders. Lift your bum, squeeze your bum, lift your toes, and look way down the beach. Nice. Look over your right shoulder. Look over the left shoulder. Nice. Bring your right hand to the floor beside you. Relax your bum and your legs. And then look over to the right by pushing your right hand down. And lift and look. And then come to the other side. Left hand to the floor. Lift and look. And then all the way down. Keep both elbows on the floor. Push back. Walk your elbows back. Hands to the floor. Push back into your downward dog. And then step the right foot forward. Do whatever way you need to. If you need to drop your knees, rise up, step your foot forward. See what you do. And then step forward. Hands to the floor, forehead to your knees. Slowly rolling up. And reach your arms wide. Bring your palms together. Bending your elbows, bending your knees. Hands to the floor, forehead to your knees. Hands to your shins, lift and look forward. Hands to the floor. Stretch your left leg long. Step it back into a lunge. Step back into a plank. Knees to the floor. Belly to the floor. Bring your elbows underneath your shoulders. Right. Somebody was saying that the first month this pose is really challenging, and she was wondering if she should force it or not. And then she realized that I was really being serious when I said, don't force it. And so now she said that her back is completely changed because she's really being at ease while she looks down the beach. Nice. Look over your right shoulder. Really look at your foot. And then look over your left shoulder. Really look at your foot. Bring your right hand to the floor. Look to the right as you rise up. And then left hand to the floor. Rise and look. Nice. Keep your elbows on the floor. Push down. Reverse. Walk your elbows back. Hands to the floor. Push back. Downward dog. Help the left foot forward. Maybe drop your knees down. Rise up. Step forward. Or whichever version of that you do. Stretch your back leg. Step forward. Hands to the floor. Forehead to your knees. Slowly rolling up. Reach your arms wide, palms come together, hands come to rest in front of your chest. So come stand beside the wall. And you're going to bring your left hand to the wall, quite low, kind of around your hip height, or you can hold onto a chair or something if you want to. And then reach your right hand forward and your right leg back. And so you're swinging forward, touching the floor. And then rise up and lift your right knee up in front of you. And then swing your right leg back, touch the floor, and then rise, coming up. And as you do this, really feel how your whole body is in the action. Coming up, lift your knee. One more time. Stretch your leg long, pause there for a moment. And then coming all the way up, pause there for a moment. Foot to the floor, other side. So right hand to the wall or chair, whatever it is that you have beside you. I'm sure you have a wall somewhere. Great, so left hand all the way down, touch the floor. Left leg is back behind you. Bend your left knee and draw your left knee up. Stretch your leg long behind you, touch the floor with your left hand. Draw your knee up in front of you. And again, stretch, touch, rise, lift. One last time. Stretch, touch, and just pause there. And then rise and pause there. Nice, foot to the floor. So now you're going to come to face a wall. Walls are better. Bring your left hand to your left knee and then touch the wall with your fingertips of your right hand. Just your fingertips. And you're like, yeah. So you shouldn't be able to touch anything. Like I can't get the rest of my hand down. And then come back. So now try and get both fingers onto the wall. You're like, oh, God. So one arm is longer than two, which is really quite amazing. And then come back. And again, try and reach both fingers to the wall. Really kind of get determined. Touch, great, and come back. So left hand to your left knee. Reach your right hand forward and right foot back. Touch the wall. Come back. Touch the wall. Stretch your right leg back behind you. Come back. One more time. Touch the wall and stretch your right leg long and then push your fingers into the wall and get really strong into your back leg. My whole right side is lengthening and stretching. Nice. Come to the floor. Other side. Right hand to your right knee. The hand on your knee is really giving you an anchor. Reach the left hand forward. Touch the wall. Left foot is up and back behind you. Bring them back. Left hand forward. Left foot back. And bring them back. One more time. Stretch it long. Touch. Push your fingertips down into the wall and reach your toes back behind you. Nice. Foot to the floor. Rising up. Hands to your hips. Roll out through your hips.
Somebody told me yesterday that I saved their Christmas by giving instructions on how to put up Christmas decorations. That ultimately doing the yoga had really helped the disaster be averted. It was very sweet. Rolling, rolling. Nice. So come down onto your hands and knees. Your knees are underneath your hips, your hands are underneath your shoulders. And then bring your feet wide. So your feet are wider than your mat, and your knees are still in the middle. Okay? And then bring your right foot long so that it's in line with the left knee and left hand. It's over on the left side of your mat. And bring your right hand to your hip. Nice. And then lift your right foot off the floor. Lift it up as high as it goes. And then let it drop down. And lift your right foot up. And then lowering it down. And just notice the sensations that are talking to you. Lift your right foot up. And lowering it down. Sweep your right foot forward, straight out in front of you. And try and bring the flat of your foot to the floor if that's something that happens. And maybe just the big toe side of your foot to the floor. Lift it up. Lowering it down. And lift it up. Lowering it down one more time. And lift it up. Lowering it down. And then swing it back. And swing it forward. Nice. Swing it back. One last time. Swing it forward. Nice. And both knees to the floor. Other side. So both knees are underneath your hips. Bring your feet wide. And then step the left foot in line. Right hand, right knee, left foot are all in line. Bring your left hand to your hip. Lift your foot up the floor. Lift. Lowering down. Lift. Lowering down. Lift. Pause there. And lowering down. Great. Swing your foot forward. So the big toe side of your foot is on the floor. Lift. Lowering down. Lift. Lowering down. I couldn't even tell you what bits are working in this one. Lift. Lowering down. And then swing. Swing your leg back. And swing your leg forwards. Swing your leg back. Forwards. One last time. Swing your leg back. Swing your leg forward. So cool. Bring both knees to the floor. And then come sit on your bum with your legs long in front of you. And just roll into your belly. Something about kind of just rolling, which is really very cool in the body. Then roll in the other direction. And just feel that your head can move, your shoulders can move, your belly can move. And then arching, maybe looking up, but being soft in the neck. And then rounding. Drop your nose down to your thighs in that direction. Lifting, arching, rounding, down. One more time. Lifting, arching, rounding, down. So bring your feet wide. Wide, whatever wide is for you. And then bring your right hand behind you on the floor. It's kind of out from your right hip behind you. Bring your left hand to your thigh and slide your left hand down your right leg. And drop your head down in the direction of your right knee. And then rise back up. Change sides. Bring your left hand behind you. Slide down your left leg with your right hand. And come up. And so I always have an image and I want to make a sound. So as I go, my arm lifts and then I dive. And I imagine that my baby finger is like a little saw. It sounds really grim when I say it. And I'm like, I'm chopping off my baby toe. It kind of gives me this sense of, that's really sweet in the body. So just find that sense of how do you stretch out? How do you flow into that reaching? And so for me, my arm rises. Sometimes my arm just swings and then it bends. Or sometimes I slide down the thigh. Sometimes I slide down the thigh. So just feel what connects you to this kind of rounding, reaching, rounding, reaching. One more time each side. Rounding, reaching, and rounding, reaching. How super cool. Come lie on your back. Knees are bent. Reach your arms straight up overhead so they're resting on the floor. Feet are hip distance apart. Drop both knees down to the right. And then glide your left hand over towards the right side. And then swing your left hand all the way back till it rests on the floor. And drop your knees down towards the left and swing your right hand over towards the left. Land on the floor, both arms overhead, knees to the right, left arm towards the right. And just kind of flow from side to side, just feeling that rolling and then the reaching of your arm. Rolling and the reaching of your arm. Nice. And then come to your back. Arms are long beside you. Just roll up and down along your spine. Just feel the rolling, massaging, deepening into the spine. Often these movements at the end are a bit like getting a dustpan and brush and sweeping up any dust that's left over. Really just feeling how these really support and nourish the spine. Nice. And just squeeze your right knee up onto your chest. Maybe just think about all the things that you're grateful for. Maybe feel your wellness, your sense of being in your body right now, being here now. And then the other left leg. Nice. And then just either bring the soles of your feet together, your knees apart, or just rest with your hands on your belly. And just breathe into your belly, just 5 or 6 breaths. So you're just lengthening down into your belly. Nice. How wonderful. So slowly reaching your arms long or staying there if this is your evening practice. You want to just lay there for another while, or slowly rising and coming up. I always have this funny thing when I'm silent in a class, when I haven't talked for a while, because there's this thing where people's internet starts buffering or the internet pauses and they go, is she still there or has she stayed in that pose for ages? Have a wonderful day, guys. And I will see you all for day 10 tomorrow. Great. Be well.